Hey everybody, Dave Neal here, stand-up comedian, host of Bachelor, recap a guy's review. It isn't too often that a story comes across my desk that I had no prior information about, and this is one of those cases. Chris Harrison versus former producer of The Bachelor, Sarah Gertrude. Okay, this story is very fascinating. Us Weekly published this story on March 22nd, but the more I looked into it, the more petty and juvenile it got. And you guys know me when it comes to Bachelor Nation. Petty and juvenile is what it's all about. So this is a very fascinating story. Let's jump right into it. Us Weekly released an article that the title was Former Bachelor Producer Sarah Gertrude Shapiro says Chris Harrison's interview was a masterclass in oppression. So let's discuss what she has to say about this interview, and then afterwards, I'm going to show you what Chris Harrison had to say about Sarah Gertrude's TV show Unreal. So Sarah Gertrude Shapiro worked on The Bachelor as a producer for 2 years. I don't know what level of producer. That's pretty much a title they give everyone who's on the show that's on the creative side of creating the content, right? Handling the contestants, this and that. Well, after 2 years on The Bachelor, she created the show Unreal, which is a scripted version, kind of like a ripoff of The Bachelor, but fictionalized. So you wonder if that's how she was able to share some of the secret recipe of The Bachelor by doing it in a fictional way. So a lot of people have asked events that happen on Unreal, is that how the show The Bachelor goes, and vice versa. Chris Harrison slammed the show back in 2015, and then 1 year later, tried to get a cameo on that show. So I'll share that, but first, let's hear what Sarah Gertrude Shapiro had to say about Chris Harrison here. So like I said, she worked as a producer from 2002 to 2004, years ago. And she said she couldn't be more thrilled that Chris Harrison's taking a break from his hosting duties. She said, I think it's such a move in the right direction, the Unreal creator, 43, told Us Weekly, exclusively calling out Harrison's conversation with former Bachelorette Rachel Lindsay. Watching Chris's interview on Extra, I was like, this is a masterclass in oppression, and it feels so dated. Like, it feels like such a dinosaur, him cutting her off and talking over her and saying like, well, I don't know which group is right in this case. And it's like, well, obviously the group that's oppressed probably knows more about it than you do. Not a bad point. Not a bad point. She added, she just seems so behind the time. He just seems so behind the times, and I think that it's such an appropriate decision to just update the franchise. Take a look at the executive producer ranks. Take a look at the host. Like, bring it back. Bring it into 2021. There she is. There's Chris Harrison. So she's pretty young. She was on the show 18 years ago. She worked on the show 18 years ago. She's only 43, right? That's what they said her age is. So she's pretty young here. She's thrilled that Caitlin Bristow and Tayshia Adams will take over hosting duties of The Bachelorette. I commend them for taking a big step in the right direction. The writer told Us, it just feels more exciting and more relevant. So then they discuss all the different stories that we have talked about already. And so, I felt like sort of fascinating. Not too much there. Former producer talks, but then we dig into it a little bit, and we talk a little bit about what her role has been after being on The Bachelor. So an article by New York Post says why Lifetime's Unreal is better than The Bachelorette. Now, Unreal has, I believe, 4 seasons. It started as Lifetime, but I believe it got canceled off Lifetime, and then Hulu picked it up. Correct me if I'm wrong. I love that can happen, though, in TV now, is that, like, if Lifetime's like, oh, we don't think this is a good show, Hulu's like, no, we've been watching it. It's just that nobody's watching Lifetime. Come on over to Hulu and we'll make it a good show, or Netflix, whoever it was. So anyway, the newest series is giving The Bachelorette a run for its money. Unreal, starring Shiri Appleby and Constance Zimmer, there's Constance right there. Boy, what a great, they really just nailed this show, guys. It's a good one. It really is. They created a Bachelor-like reality show called Everlasting, illustrating the extreme lengths producers and contestants are willing to go to in order to deliver a delicious 60-minute drama. So on the show Unreal, one of the main things you see, the main character is this character right here, and she works I think at first as a production assistant, but becomes a producer because she's able to get a lot of drama out of the contestants. You see that each of the different Bachelor producers in the show, Everlasting producers, they're given several contestants to kind of coach. And if they can get the contestants to like do crazy things, they get paid more money. So a lot of people have hypothesized that Bachelor producers get paid based off of bonus incentives for what kind of storylines they can create out of thin air, or kind of create out of minimal situations and really heighten them. And it's very fascinating. It's a very fascinating show. What's interesting, though, is the show was created. Not many people watched it right away. Like I said, because it was on Lifetime. Who's watching it? But then what's interesting is Chris Harrison slams the show in 2015 in a Variety article. So this article by Showbiz Cheat Sheet, I get all my information from Showbiz Cheat Sheet, was written January 6, 2021. Shout out Catherine Wright. They probably have to write 50 articles a day, these poor people. Not exactly the New York Times, but I will say, not to denigrate my good friends over at Showbiz Cheat Sheet, but this is, they unearthed some interesting things that Chris Harrison said several years ago. After Unreal premiered on Lifetime in 2015, some fans of The Bachelor began to look at the show differently. The scripted series presented a fictionalized behind-the-scenes look at a Bachelor-esque reality show called Everlasting. So as they say on Unreal, the producers go to harmful and extreme lengths to get their contestants to say and do the things they want on camera. That's crazy. That could never happen, right? All the more disturbing, one of the creators of Unreal, Sarah Gertrude Shapiro, actually worked on The Bachelor. Fans wondered and worried how many of the dramatic scenes on Unreal were inspired by Shapiro's real-life experiences. So then this is what Chris Harrison had to say. As Variety reported in 2015, he had some choice words for Unreal at the time. Asked about the difference between the two shows, Harrison blasted, "Really, the main difference that I've seen is that people watch The Bachelor," which is a pretty good roast. It's pretty funny, pretty good roast. But also Chris Harrison knows that the creator of The Bachelor, the creator of Everlasting, ripped off her experience on The Bachelor. So he knows that it's kind of like, there's some personal blood there. He also denied the Lifetime series' basis in reality. He said, "It's complete fiction," The Bachelor host said. Harrison continued to mercilessly drag the show. As much as they would love to jump on our coattails, they were begging for us to talk about it and for people to write about it. At the end of the day, no one is watching. I mean, absolutely nobody is watching the show. Why? It is terrible. It is really terrible. I wonder if Chris Harrison's been watching the show now that he's got a lot of free time. I actually didn't have this pulled up, but Chris Harrison, Texas sighting. Let's see. There was an interesting photo of Chris Harrison yesterday. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. Oh, here it is. This was on Reddit yesterday. Let me go to open a new tab here. Chris Harrison spotted, not looking his best, but I'm not here to shame the man. But people were wondering, is he with Lauren Zima or a daughter? I don't know who that is. He's working on his cab. He likes a good red wine. Got the Texas hat. It's like, we get it. You're in Texas. You don't need to wear a Texas hat. We understand where you're at. Just hanging out, biding his time, doing his thing, indoor dining, whatever. Good for him. So he's that was just a couple days ago. Anyway, folks, so he just slams the show, slams it. Harrison also distinguished the Lifetime series from parodies on shows like Saturday Night Live, which is part of the vernacular. The Bachelor star sees the SNL sketches as a sign of respect. The way that Unreal took it, it wasn't a sign of respect, Harrison explained. Harrison's like the mob boss. Like, I like Chris Harrison as like that kind of like warm glass of milk you get. It's like, all right, Chris Harrison shows up with a rose. Let's go do this. But not a good look that he was slamming the show this hard. And especially since the show didn't have much of a following, he didn't have to, if he didn't comment on it, he probably was just giving them publicity. He said they were trying to take it another direction, but it doesn't work that way. Okay, so I will agree that having watched the show Unreal, there are scenes that are insane. They'll like swap out a contestant's pills, and talk to therapists and find ways they can get into. I'm sure they don't take it to those sorts of extents, but also maybe Chris Harrison doesn't know. Maybe they just leave him in the trailer when they kind of rile up some drama. Who knows? You have to wonder, though, now that Chris Harrison has hired power attorney Brian Friedman to represent him in a possible case against The Bachelor, if they do terminate his contract. You have to wonder what will happen from that. By the way, is that a Confederate? Do we have a Confederate flag here? Let's see if we can play this just for a second to see. This is the show itself. It is just wild. Let's see if I can get to that thumbnail. Yeah, I think they put a Southern girl in a Confederate flag bikini or something crazy like that. It's just the show itself is crazy. But it is a fictionalized version of what you will see as very similar compared to The Bachelor. And I don't see the... let's see if Unreal... Let me see if I can find this. Unreal show Bikini Confederate. Now I'm going to be on a watch list for looking at this. But I think here it is. Yeah, so the show tackles some very wild, storylines and themes. But it's actually not too different. Obviously fictionalized content is going to be a little heightened or whatever, but it's not too crazy to think that there would have been a world where they would have taken a southern contestant and slapped her in a Confederate flag. I mean, this could have happened several years ago. You know what I mean? The storylines on the show are just insane. So it's interesting that this show has had some late life success, starting on Lifetime. And where can people watch Unreal? Because I think it's on Hulu now. But now it's on Hulu. I'll share my Hulu password with you so you can. All right, let's not get into that. So you can go watch it. But so after that happened, by the way, this is the fake host on the right. This is Chris Harrison on the left, and on the right it is the actor who played the host on the show Everlasting, which was the show within a show on Unreal. Bachelor host. So let me see if there's anything else that he said. Anything else salacious? So Shapiro responded. As Us Weekly reported, Shapiro, who worked as an assistant to a producer on The Bachelor from 2002 to 2004, shared her thoughts on Harrison's comments at Pally Center for Media's event with Unreal. She mainly remained positive in response to The Bachelor host, if a bit tongue-in-cheek. She said, "We're glad he saw it. We're glad he saw it. However, the story doesn't end there." Oh, the story keeps going. Was Unreal Season 2 poking fun at The Bachelor? An Unreal actor, Brennan Elliott, that's this guy right here on the right, Brennan Elliott. He's the host of the fictional Everlasting, played the role of Harrison on The Bachelor. Let me read that again. An Unreal actor, Brennan Elliott, played the role of Harrison on The Bachelor as the host of the fictional Everlasting. Between that was just written weird. Am I wrong, or is that written weird? Between season 1 and 2, Slate argues the character turned from one of lighthearted jokiness to one of ridicule. In the first season, the host was a figure of fun, an expensive haircut and a sharp suit with nothing much between them. But in the second, he's a punching bag. Yeah, he kind of just became heightened, you know what I mean? They started kind of making fun of this, he became the host of they gave him some more love. That's what happens when the seasons continue. They find new storylines, you know what I mean? I'm not surprised by that. But the question would be whether or not they did that on purpose. What is he, getting a chimpanzee faceplant? Rachel asks. She follows it up with, if he isn't on his mark in 15 seconds, I'm going to come in there and I'm going to grab him by the balls and I'm going to put him on his mark. The rest of the Everlasting crew begin joking about the host is spray tanning his balls. Quinn later refers to the character as our moron. Yeah, he's the moron of the show, and it's great. We love him. But I mean, I don't think anybody watches the show and thinks, oh, Chris Harrison's a moron because this character is, so I wouldn't take it too personally. But anyway, so September 19th, 2016, so less than a year later, Bachelor host Chris Harrison wants cameo on Unreal after trashing the show. Who would have thought Chris Harrison was a fan of Unreal? The host of The Bachelor conducted an interview with the show's star, Constance Zimmer, at the Emmys on September 18th and revealed that while the Lifetime show was a mock on his show, he still wanted to be on it. Well, of course he did. He's got his cameos. He wants to do a cameo. He's got cameo. Anything involving cameo, he's on board. They could have paid him $400. My Unreal moment today is probably sitting down and talking to Chris Harrison because it's like two worlds colliding on live television, Constance Zimmer told ET Online at the Emmys red carpet. But he was so unbelievably nice and he wants to come and be on the show. Yes, Chris Harrison, host of The Bachelor, wants to be on Unreal. Talk about life imitating art. That would have been great if they did that. Did they do that? Did he ever make it on? I find it hard to believe I've never received a gift basket or a cameo on the show, Chris told Constance during his carpet interview on ABC. How could I not be on the show? Could I be the Bachelor on the fake Bachelor show Everlasting? As for what Constance thought about it, well, she was totally down. I think something in the continuum would explode if he was on our show playing The Bachelor or something. Yeah, we're going to make it happen. Or he could come on and play Quinn's boyfriend. Let me ask, maybe he did. Did Chris Harrison have a cameo on Unreal? I don't think he did. My mind would blow up right now if he did. I don't think so. No, it doesn't look like it happened. Doesn't look like they could afford my man Chris Harrison. They could probably afford him now if they wanted to. Just all they got to do is pull him off. They could cover his tab. He had a couple, Shirazes, and he's ready to go. Don't leave that beer there. Finish your drink. Anyway, so that's the feud there. So very interesting. They always say in Hollywood, you got to be friends with everyone. You got to be friends with the assistant. You never know when they're going to be your boss. You just got to be friends with me and bump your Harrison onto that like button and let me know what you guys think of this everlasting storyline. Very everlasting storyline between Chris Harrison and the producer of Unreal. It is, it's always my place to point out the cattiness within the community here, and boy, do we have it. So would love to know what you guys think of this interesting story. I've got more information coming out that from an interview that they had with the Unreal creator, Sarah Gertrude Shapiro. It's interesting to hear her opinion as an outsider who has also worked on the show. So we'll get some more of that coming up next. Hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, and I will see you guys in a little bit.